that we talk about cricket.
I know. Who'd have thought it?
Well, you know as well as I do that let's just not mention the national game.
Oh,
it's a bit embarrassing.
This morning against New Zealand was embarrassing. I mean, there was no lesser word for it because it was just humiliating. You know, the 100 over game, for it to be over in 40 odd overs at that level with two top teams was ridiculous. But all is not lost. Locally, we're thriving. Hampshire back in the Division 1 of the County Championship. We've already spoken a couple of weeks ago to a young man who's been voted ECB Young Coach of the Year from Hampshire. And tonight, we're going to be speaking to a young woman who is part of a group of female coaches currently attending the first ever, you'll love this, Katie, all-female ECB Level 2 coaching course at Hampshire. Now, that doesn't happen very often. It certainly hasn't happened in this county before. Natasha, Marisa, good evening to you.
Hello.
Hiya, Natasha.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
We're okay. Was that build-up okay for you?
It was very good, thanks.
Good. Now, first of all, cricket is one of those sports which is ridiculously male-dominated. So where did your love for the sport come from? How did you get involved in it?
I was very lucky that my dad played. So as a child, I was dragged to and from cricket pitches, and it's only normal to then want to play with a bat and ball yourself. So I started playing cricket when I was 7. I'm 22 now, so yeah, fair few years.
Yeah. Do you mean you weren't roped into making the sandwiches? You actually got the ball and the bat?
I actually did, luckily enough. Only because I wasn't very good at cooking or anything like that.
Don't worry, Natasha, I'll slap him later.
Thank you.
Now, how far do you want to take this then?
Well, I've, as I say, played forever, so I love the game, and now it's just getting into coaching and sort of spreading my passion to all of the girls that can now play cricket.
Who do you play for then, week in, week out in the summer?
I play for Cove Ladies, which is at North Hampshire, based in Farnborough.
Right.
And
you play against who?
Against other clubs within the Hampshire Cricket League.
Right.
So yeah, there's a fair few of us now, which is good. And I'm also playing for Hampshire Ladies.
Now, there are a number of levels above Level 2, Natasha. I actually did my Level 1 ECB badge a few years ago when I was coaching some kids, but Level 2's a bit trickier. There are quite a few levels. You could take this quite a long way, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. You can go, very far with cricket coaching, and fingers crossed this is just the start for me.
And what difference does the all-female aspect of this make? The fact that the coaching is all-female?
It just makes it a little bit easier going into a session and it's all females doing it. You don't feel like sort of intimidated at all. And it also means that it's just more presence for the female game, really, because, as you said at the start, it's a very male-dominated sport.
Do you know what? Funnily enough, when I was writing earlier about this story, I wrote the word, I wrote the question to you, is it less intimidating having an all-female course? And do you know what? I scrubbed the word intimidating because I didn't want to presume that it would be intimidating for a woman doing the course with a man, and I was waiting for Katie to slap me again. So, and then you said it yourself, Natasha. So no, it's fine. Don't say sorry. I'm glad you did, because, you know, it is. I would imagine the thought of super confident blokes who play club cricket to a high level who suddenly want to turn to coaching, like, oh, why didn't she know that? Or that pressure's off a bit, isn't it, when you're on the course? This is 4 weekends. It's quite a long amount of hours, isn't it, to get the course done?
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's also like quite a perception of women in sport, not just in cricket, and it kind of just takes that perception away. Like if you turn up to a coaching course with males as well, they're probably thinking, oh, she's not going to be any good, or stuff like that. It kind of gets rid of all the judgment, which is a lot better for females, I think.
Well, women's teams in lots of national sports, rugby, football and cricket, doing really well. So how long before we see a female coach at the top level, do you think?
Not long, I hope.
Is it going to be you, Natasha? I hope so.
Yes, definitely.
Is it a hard one to break into? There's always a ceiling, people say, don't they? Whether it's industry, whether it's sport, you know, there is a female's ceiling. Now, you look at the World Cup and you think, will we ever have a female coach at that level of the game? Maybe that's asking a lot in the next 20 years.
I think women are too sensible to take on that job, to be honest.
They probably need them to be selectors, I think. Actually, pick the right players would be a start, wouldn't it, Tasha? So, you know, do you think we will see a professional female coach in cricket, county cricket, at some stage?
I'd like to think so, yeah. I don't see why there's any reason why there shouldn't be. As long as they're of a good standard and know the game, why should they be picked like not be picked because they're female, you know.
Good. Well, look, well done on being part of a historic group of female coaches who are doing their first all-female badge together. I think that's terrific. And best of luck with it. How many weekends you got left to go?
Thank you. We got 2 weekends, one being the assessment.
You doing your homework?
Of course.
Well done. Nice to speak to you, Natasha. Good luck with the rest of the course.
Thank you, Andrew. Bye.
There's Natasha Marisa, who is one of 7 women cricket coaches taking their level 2 badge in Hampshire. First time an all-female coaching badge has taken place, which I think is great.